What is the Didache and how does that impact my faith practice and beliefs? We're going to discuss that in this video. This video is a part of a larger series of videos called The Disciple. If you go to our YouTube channel, Bethel Pittsburgh, and go under playlist, you'll find a playlist titled The Disciple. And in there, you'll notice that the titles of the videos will say The Disciple, and then it'll give a category, sometimes a subcategory, and all the videos are arranged in category and then subcategory order. So that way you can go through the videos and move to the category that you want to look into. And this is under the category of church history. Now, as I've said throughout this section, is that church history, the reason why that's important is it has, the history is the building blocks of where we currently are, and it gives us direction on how to interact with things and go from here. Kind of gives us, a point of reference of where we are. It does have a major effect on things, and it even at times helps us with our interpretation of Scripture. So the Didache is a portion of that. Now, Didache was a writing that was written it's estimated in the 90s AD. So at the tail end of the biblical time, it was right around the same time that John was writing his Gospels, maybe a little later than John was writing his Gospels, his Gospel and his epistles and Revelation. And so it's right around the tail end of the apostolic age and the tail end of the biblical period. And the reason why it's important is because people make it a point of reference, and its ideas are revealing as to how the early church thought and approached different things a little post-biblical times. And so it gives some clarification there. And these details, what we see is in that earlier period, the early church, some considered it even to be a part of Scripture. Many did not. And again, where you land on that is going to affect the way you relate to your faith and some choices that you make. Some of the things that it communicates is it seems to be summarizing the purpose of the Christian life. Some of the aspects specifically it deals with is baptism, and it specifically says that baptism is by immersion. It deals with the Eucharist or communion. It describes godly living versus ungodly living. It includes the Lord's Prayer from the Gospels in its entirety. And it gives orders to fast on Wednesdays and Fridays. It provides some leadership terminology like apostles, prophets, bishops, and deacons, even though even within the Didache, it's not abundantly clear the evolution of the direction that those roles were moving. It deals with some prophecy regarding the Antichrist and the second coming. So again, really it's just a point of reference. It's something that's commonly known to people that are heavily involved within the Christian faith, and it's used as a defense for certain types of beliefs and practices. And we have to know, do we perceive it as biblical or not? Even if it's not a part of Scripture, is it in agreement with Scripture? And I would say it seems like it is, but it's not necessarily inspired in the authoritative sense. But it still gives us a picture of how the early church, like I said, a little post-biblical times, was behaving. And so where we're going to move from there is we're going to wrap up with some of John's apostles that are going to lead us into the second century of the Christian church. But if you have any questions on that, please leave that in the comments below. I'd be glad to answer them. Or if you would like to grow in your faith in person and you live in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, we would love for you to join us. We are Bethel Assembly of God at 2501 Staten Street. We meet Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. and Sundays at 10 a.m. Or if you can't join us in person, you can always join us via live streaming. We stream our Sunday services live on our YouTube channel, Bethel Pittsburgh, Sundays at 10 a.m. See you then. God bless.